Hello everybody, Vigo'sShadow here, and today I'll be going over the other limited time event unit, Giant Killer Arthur Pencilgon. Or at least I hope I said that right. Either way, it is a green healer, and I also wanted to remind those that the spring campaign is still going on. You get a free weekly ×10 pull summon, so don't worry. Just definitely go for that, and then it does say when it resets every Sunday. So that's actually good that they put that there. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. But we will be going over Giant Killer Arthur. It's going to be great. Let's see what she has to offer for another option for green healer units. Also, I wanted to mention this. In my Son Raku video, I mentioned that he doesn't have a one-on-one option, so he cannot be selected as a home screen character, which is very odd. And that's the first time I think I've ever seen something like that. Either way, she can be, though. So she can be on the home screen, and you can increase bond level with her. I just wanted to add that. I think that's very interesting to note. Either way, let's go into her profile, and let's check out her max stats. So at rank 15, she goes from here's power to healing boost. Here's healing boost to overheal, and the grouping. We have human and other. So yeah, again, other is like a very broad category that I find pretty weird, but at least you could throw them into human teams. Both Son Raku and Arthur, they both have the same grouping, and we are likely to see that the third one probably has the same grouping as well. I did go ahead and switch her into my home screen character so you could see that. Here she is. That's what she looks like on the home screen. I did switch off copyright and everything else like that because I thought there might be a theme attached to these characters. There is not. Either way, I think it's still pretty good that she is on the home screen and you're able to interact with her. Maybe they might do the same with Son Raku, I'm not sure, but from the way it seems right now, it seems like that's not going to be the case. Alright, anyways, here it is, Giant Killer Arthur. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to obviously go into the abilities right away, and then I'll check in on everything like magic gear and some other stuff after I get through the abilities. So let's check out Shadow Wedge. Now with this one, it grants ongoing HP recovery on all allies by 15% of attack for 15 seconds. Now, I already know how I feel. I've kind of addressed this like multiple times, how I feel about HP recovery on all allies. I don't like it really. I'd rather have a straight heal than something that's just ongoing. I mean, it could be helpful in some situations, but either way, moving past that, so I wouldn't say it's a good heal, but it's still considerable because it's going on all allies for 1, but it's 15% of attack, and it's ongoing HP recovery, so I wish this would be a higher percentage so I'd kind of make up for that, but either way, it's going to inflict stun on all enemies for 5 seconds. It's going to also inflict seal for 5 seconds. And then it's going to cancel all buff effects if yellow elemental. Throw everything out the window. This is absolutely great. I mean, stun, seal, and all buff. You're going to be making sure that the enemy that you face, especially bosses, is not going to be doing anything for 5 seconds. I like that. That's really good. And canceling all buff effects is going to be so crucial because then you literally, all you got to do is whip out her ultimate and then whip out everybody else's and then watch that boss just be melted. Especially if you're facing a boss that has like high defense, a lot of defense buffs, or invincible, it gets annoying. So if you're able to literally virtually cancel out all buff effects, busted, OP, I love it. And you'll love it too. But anyway, like I said, I wish the HP is good. Having ongoing HP recovery is better than nothing at all. And we could have definitely got that, and that'd be weird to see on a healer. Let's see what this looks like awakened. We actually have a 5% increase. I wish it was more. This basically changes almost nothing about the HP recovery, so that does suck. But either way, it's it does change it because you're doing 5 more seconds of ongoing HP recovery. And then it also is going to stun on all enemies for 10 seconds, and then seal for all for 10 seconds, and then cancel all buff effects. I mean, this is insane. That's just insane. If you're stunning, sealing, and canceling all buff effects, you are basically doing a clean sweep on the other team and just canceling out everything. I would say this is good for PvP, but here's the reality of it. You're not going to probably land this hidden technique, and if you did, a game changer. It's over. It's over for the other team. But either way, definitely really good on bosses. This is a very aggressive healer, and I already like the looks of this one right off the bat. Now let's check out this healing move here. It's called Rebirth Tear Jewel. Oh, an interesting name here. Recovers HP of a single ally with the lowest HP. Standard heal, basically. And then we're throwing a shield on top of it. 100% of the skill user's attack for 15 seconds if it's green. So if it's not green, no shield. So that's going to suck because if you want basically, like, you're going to have to, I'd say, run a full green team for sure. And you probably are going to be doing that anyway. But like if you wanted, like, some characters can really go well hand in hand with each other. Like the Master Shadow, you could pretty much put on any team. So like let's say he has the lowest HP, he gets healed, no shield to him. That sucks. But either way, this is really good because it's not only just a standard shield or standard heal, it's a shield on top of that, and you're protecting the weakest green member, which is great. I mean, there's not much to complain there. It kind of makes up for that hidden technique heal. So the ongoing HP recovery for all, like, might be actually more favorable. Well, I wouldn't say more favorable, but like this is a shield, so it's gonna definitely be worth it. Definitely. And then this is actually when it's awakened, you get 50% more shield, and you recover 50% more. So you're probably gonna want to see that for sure on the roadmap. Did I look at this? Oh yeah, it was like yeah, you want to see that on the roadmap for sure too. All right, so we got Karmic Straw Doll. So this one, it cancels 3 debuff effects on each ally, raises the damage received for a single enemy by 10% for 10 seconds, further increases the damage received based on total canceled debuff effects multiplied by 2% for 10 seconds. Now, that's a lot of text right there. Essentially, yeah, on each ally. That is crazy. You are canceling 3 debuff effects on each ally, so it could be... I mean, that opens the door for really good PvP potential for this unit specifically, because, like, I know other units are going to be definitely debuffing your units, and then just getting rid of that on each ally, everybody minus 3 debuffs? That's crazy. Very, very, very strong for PvP. Keep in mind you, as a supporter. Raises a damage received for single enemy by 10%. And then you're going to further increase the damage received based on total canceled debuff effects multiplied by 2%. So for each one, so let's say you have 5 debuffs on like all the enemy or all the allies. Like let's say you have like across all your allies, you have canceled 5 debuff effects. That's an additional 10% for damage received on the same single enemy. It doesn't say who, so it might be targeting the tank right away, and if that's the case, good, because you want to melt that in PvP. I'm thinking PvP for a PvP sense. But if it's like on, like, there's certain bosses that'll throw a lot of debuffs on your allies, and this is going to just, like, pretty much take all those debuffs, or not all of them, because it's 3 for each, but still, that's a lot. Take them all, and then throw it back onto the... So the most you're going to get for each ally, so let's see here, 3, 6, 9, 12. Then 12 by 2. We got 20, 24. So 24% plus a 10% is going to make it 34% damage received maximum if you're canceling, like, if each ally has 3 debuff effects. So we got 34%. Otherwise, if we do that, okay, that's going to change it a lot. A lot of math for me, but either way, it's going to be an additional 5% with 2% for each multiplier, and that can go up to 12. So 12, let's see, 40. That's a lot, actually. 40 is a lot. And then it's 5 debuff effects, so that just throws everything out. That's just going to be good. You're going to probably want to see that A1, A2. Hey, we'll just say that right now with the debuff effects. I mean, that's crazy. this thing can really rack up, especially if you have a lot of bosses giving you a lot of grief with those debuffs. Or arena. Like, I'm telling you, that PvP, that's crazy. That is a crazy amount of, like, cleanse. This is definitely one of those cleansing units for sure. And then we have Giant Killer. At the start of the wave, raises speed of all green elemental allies by 50% if partied with 3 or more green elemental allies, self-included. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely cracked. This is a cracked unit for sure. I'm just curious to see the magic gear now, because, I mean, you're raising speed of all allies by 50%. This is like, oh, this is crazy. As a green healer, this is basically not even a healer at all. It has the standard heals and then ongoing HP recovery. So here's what it lacks, right? Actually giving heals towards your team. But what it excels in is like canceling all your debuffs. And then with this one, you're inflicting stun, seal, a stun and seal, and you're getting rid of all their buffs. This is crazy. You're cleansing your team in debuffs, and then you're cleansing. You're pretty much getting rid of every advantage that the boss has. Absolutely crazy. This is probably this is a healer that I'd like to pick up, but I probably have to pass based on my gems. Either way, Giant Killer, 3 or more, like, that's not hard. You could fill the spaces pretty easily. So there's not a lot of restriction there, and it leaves a lot of room to be opened if you want to throw in different elements to mix and match. Keep in mind, though, if you do put extra elements in your team, that if they get damaged and hurt pretty bad, then they're not going to receive the shield. Instead, the shield won't be there, but it is a small little 100% shield, so especially if the boss is not killing you, then it's not really an issue. So I don't really see that much as an issue. Either way, this speed is so crucial. I'm going to tell you right now, as in terms of healers, if we're talking about tier list, like I know I did a Bushin tier list a little bit of ways back, that is going to be very, very good in the, like, she's probably up in the Sherry tier. Like, we're talking God tier units for PvP. This is absolutely crazy. Crazy for PvP. Super good, and then it's super good for bosses. Obviously, you guys could tell which way I'm leaning. I mean, let me just go into all this before I start rambling even more, right? Let's check her out here. I really like the digital effects when she's doing the slashes. I wish Sunraku had that a little bit more in his art. But as we can see, the background here, you see a little bit of a soldier there, and then a soldier here with like a sword, and then you see all the blurriness in the background, which is a nice added effect with some lines there. And she's just like in the midst of combat. I like it. I wish I get the, like, it's for the effect to keep the background blurry, but I wish I would be able to see the background a little bit more. I know the focus is attention on Arthur, so at least that's good. I'd probably give this art rating probably like a 7 or maybe a 6, because I am more of a background guy. But you can see other people like judge it. Like, she's being surrounded by soldiers, so I might boost that up to, let's just say an 8. That's pretty good. I like the art. It's not bad. Let's go ahead and go into her skill, because I'm very curious with this magic gear now. She does a 4 hit, by the way, and it totals to 100, of course. But 4 hits are good. Now let's see what her linked gear is. When a hidden technique is consumed, or wait, when it's activated, consumes 50% of HP of all allies, or of each ally. Wow. What a trade-off. That's a high risk and high reward. Oh, or it sounds like it. Hold on one second. Raises attack of all attacker allies by 50% for 60 seconds. The whole wave? Oh my god. The whole wave. Permanent? Is this permanent? Hold on. That's permanent. Oh. If you can find somebody that's going to be, like, boosting the SP rate of your characters, and she keeps doing this hidden technique and then healing them over again, oh my gosh, you can have 100% on all attack. You can have 100% of death. What? This is crazy. Hold on. Raises attack of all attacker allies by 50% for 60 seconds. The whole wave. Which, I mean, you won't be able to activate that right away unless you have like a super SP boost in the beginning, which is unlikely. Raises defense of all tank allies by 50% for 60 seconds, and raises overheal of all supporter allies by 50%. I would assume, yeah, this is overheal. Oh, that's permanent. Oh, that's crazy. That is so crazy. You are boosting your tank so much. They're gonna be an iron wall with that defense for the rest of the wave. I mean, at that point, you know, 50% of the HP of each ally. Just make sure that the boss hits his ultimate, and after the boss hits the ultimate, and you gotta see where your health levels are at. But then do it. Then do your hidden technique. And then also, you know, obviously when characters get released together, like so Sun Raku has an ability where if he's below 50%, which in this case he probably would be when the hidden technique is used, he gets 50% more attack. So pulling Arthur and Sun Raku at the same time is a very, very good pairing. The only thing is, you gotta check out the Sun Raku video to find out, but if you want a too long didn't read, or I don't want to watch that video too long, basically Sun Raku needs crit rate, otherwise it just doesn't work. But if you have Arthur, Shadow Festival, Zeta, and then Sun Raku, wow. You are gonna be melting through these bosses, dude. That is crazy. This magic gear alone is like outdoes characters even. Like whole standard characters. This gear this gear alone does more than a standard character could probably ever do in terms of buffs. That's just absolutely crazy. Not to mention she has speed on top of that. Oh, I didn't even do the max. 50% alone is really, really good, but the max is 70%. Okay, wait, okay. That's actually very good to note, because if you level this up, you're going to be consuming more HP. So the risk gets higher when you level that up, but that might be better for in Sun Raku's case, or other characters if you have Claire. Now let's see if you have, like Claire, if she gets below a certain percentage, then her attack is raised. Wow. I mean, there is so much potential for this magic gear. This magic gear has got me really interested. 70% of attack on all attacker allies, 70% for the defense on the tank, and 70% overheal. Your healer's not going to die, your tank's definitely not going to die, and your attackers are going to do a hell of a lot more damage. This is just all rounded. This is the actually, you know what, I'm going to say it. This is the best magic gear I've ever seen. Hands down, one of the best, top tier magic gear. Wow. Let's go into Awakening here. Shadow Wedge is right away, so you get a little bit more of the HP recovery, but you have now you have it for 5 more seconds, which is good. The stun lasts longer, the seal lasts longer, and all the cancels all buff effects. So that's actually not bad to see at A1. 5 more seconds of the boss not being able to attack is crucial. It's gonna be very beneficial because, like, especially like if we're talking about Arma, you might be able to kill the boss before it even has a chance to use their hidden technique, which is good. It's gonna save you time. Very, very good. Karmic Straw Doll. That one's right at A2. That's a cancel 5 debuff. Wow, her A1, her A2 is really good. A3 is kind of mid. Mid/low tier on the A3 there. A4 is the magic gear, and A5 is this giant killer. That's freaking crazy. 50%. What did I miss that one? Hold on now. Oh yeah, so this is just the speed. Now when it's awakened, speed and attack. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. Speed and attack. 30% attack. Wow, and then her magic gear is 70%. So if you... Oh my goodness, her at A5 is just devastating, but obviously that's going to take a lot, either a lot of pulls, or like you can get her A1. So if you pull her, you can get her A1 from the events. There's your A1 right there. And then depending on how much magic crystal cores you have, you can go bring her to A2, but like it's going to be a grind to get her to A5, but I mean, getting her to A5 would mean that you have on all your green attacker allies 30%. Which is very considerable. Now, let's just go to the should you pull, right? So, should I pull for Giant Killer Arthur? And what I want to tell you, and what I want to say to everybody, is that this character is well worth the pull. Like, oh, man, does it do something different. Like, it is... Like, New was a cleanser as well. Like, New was pretty good as a cleanser, but this is just on a whole new level of cleansing. Like, the Magic Gear alone is able to give you 70% attack. Granted, it's a high risk, high reward type of move, so you got to make sure that you're going to be able to heal the party, and hopefully that ongoing HP is enough to heal everybody. But if you have a boss that hits hard, I mean, you're probably going to go down. That Magic Gear is going to end up screwing you. So, but in that case, just take it off, you know. But I feel like in most case scenarios, that's going to be super good. Especially, and you could even do like a double healer combo. Imagine Arthur, and then you can even have Sherry with the Magic Plus gear, because she's giving speed and Sherry's giving speed. That's more speed, more heals. Everybody gets the shield, double healer. You could pull off double healer with that the double healer strat, and that'd be a-okay. Especially if you have like 2 other attackers or 3 other attackers that can just manage. Well, if you do 3, then that's like no tank, but you'll definitely want a tank. But still, this one is up in the God tier for healers, and it doesn't require, like, this character doesn't require backup from others. Instead, this character provides support to everybody. Attackers, tanks, other healers. Absolutely crazy of a unit. That Magic Gear is absolutely cracked. This is probably one of the best healers in the game, as far as I'm concerned. And for green, it'd be a new addition, or it'd be a good addition. And if people are scared of letting Sherry go, you can run a double healer comp and still be really good. Because, like, the only weakness about this healer is that instead of healing, it's gonna take health away. So it's like an anti-healer. This thing is more of like a support that doesn't heal, but it does do like a little bit of heals, obviously. So absolutely crazy. I'd say definitely go ahead and pull for Arthur if you can and try to get her. Depends on how invested you really want to be in that. And then if we're comparing this one to Sunraku, like, oh, which one should I go for? I kind of want a green attacker. Just keep in mind that Sunraku needs backup. He definitely needs backup for crit rate. I'd say if you definitely want more of a boss melting comp, both are very good, especially with her Magic Gear. Her Magic Gear is such a game changer. I'd say Arthur is probably the better pull compared to Sunraku and Arthur. So there we have it. That's both the banners. Make sure you check out the Sunraku video so you can compare and contrast between the two. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna keep rambling if I talk about Arthur more, but I really, really like this healer. God tier healer. But yeah, anyway, that's all. Vigo, signing off.